All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday afternoon live. We always get together for a portrait class, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to close some windows really quick because I could hear the gardeners next door. So hold on, everyone. There we go. How is everyone doing? Hey, Geraldine, how are you? All right, so I want to welcome you. We have a very active Facebook group, and every Wednesday in the morning we vote on which picture we would like to draw. And the picture that you see right now is the photo that we're going to be drawing today. And if you would like to participate in that vote, I would recommend that you join our Facebook group. The link is down in the description, and that's what I got. Who do we have here? We have Carmarnius. I don't know if I said that right, but I am glad that you are here. Hello. Okay, so when I approach drawing a portrait, know this going in, that drawing the portrait has got to be one of the hardest things for someone to do. It is the pinnacle of probably any artist out there, is to quickly draw a person's face. So don't be so hard on yourself, and let's try and simplify this so we could start to approach it with we could just take some of the nerves out of it. Okay, so let's take a look at this idea here, and grab your paper. And first thing I want you to do is just kind of draw a square, just like this. And then, and this kind of represents a head. We all could do that, right? And in the center toward the bottom, just come down here with an ear shape, something like that. All right. Then we're going to drop down just a slight line like this. This represents the corner of the jaw. And then we just kind of swing around, just something like that. All right, let's take a look at we're going to take a look at some general proportions right now, and if you just work through this, and I think you'll get it. So usually the top of the ear will line up with the top of the eye line. And you can look, if I show you my profile, you can kind of see that happening. The bottom of the ear, this usually lines up with the bottom of the nose, right? The bottom of the nose to the bottom of the ear. The other thing that you have got going in here, usually like the cheekbone is somewhat in that general area. And if you go all the way to the back of the head, which is somewhere back here. Hello, John. Somewhere back here. This is going to be the base of the skull. That's the base of the skull. So what would happen here then is you can bring down the neck just like this. And then this neck is going to come like this. And then the underside is going to come like this, you see? Okay. We're off to a great start here. Now there's one tendon that sometimes will appear, and you actually it goes from the back of the ear and it comes all the way down right to the pit of the neck. So that will sometimes appear something like this. And you want to be aware of that. That's a pretty common one. And I think on this girl, it's if you're young, this girl is young, so you're not going to see this as much, but it's just something to be aware of. All right, so we could come in here now and kind of curve our skull. All right, and right here at the brow line, this is going to come in just a little bit of an indent. Then our nose is going to come out like this. And then down here, this you end up having this sort of, it's a curved line. That's called the ball of the mouth. Mouth is going to be somewhere about there. And your chin is going to be right below that. Hey, Hanny, how are you? Okay, now your eye. Now here's a little something to remember. Typically, the outside part of the wing of the nose, which is going to be right about there, is going to line up with the tear duct of the eye. Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying that. All right, so then let's take a quick look at the eye before we put it onto our on our model here. And I'm going to actually bring up this photo. I took a close view of her eye so that we can take a little bit closer view. One other thing I'm going to do on this, I'm actually going to turn it a little bit, because she's looking up, and I don't, for our demo here, I don't want to draw her looking up. I want her to draw her looking straight on. So let's just talk about an eye real quick. So on your page, go ahead and just draw almost like an eyeball. And then the front of let's draw the pupil, but it's important. Now here's the thing, it's important that because this is a true side view, that pupil is going to be much narrower because you're seeing it from the side. So we're going to do something like that. Okay, so this is where I think many people will make a mistake. When drawing the the eye on profile, you got to think of like the eyelid wrapping around it. So what I mean by that is the eyelid might start here and it wraps around and it comes like this, you see? And then at the bottom where we're going to draw the lower eyelid, same thing. It's wrapping around. It's wrapping around. So we're going to come around like this. And then you're going to have a little bit of thickness of the lower eye. And if this is an older person, you're going to see more like a bag or a fatty, you know, it's going to be more defined. So even that, you would want to come up. Watch this now. You're going to want to come around. You see this? Come around. You just have to really think that you're going around a sphere when you're drawing eyes. You don't want to draw them flat. So then if we were going to draw then our eyelashes, the eyelashes will start down here, make their way up, and then they come down here, you see? Oh. All right. Let's see. So we got our eyelashes down, okay? And the same thing with our lower eyelashes. You know, they're gonna come around like this. And the last little tip I want to show you about eyes, and you can't really see it in this model, but sometimes it will happen. And I'm going to change the color for this. You know, the sun is coming, generally speaking, the sun is coming down in this direction. So you're going to have a highlight that's going to be on the thickness of that lower eyelid. So you want to be aware of that, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and finish our eye here that I have drawn. So I'm gonna come up. I went around, and the same thing. I'm gonna come around here like this. I can add. So that's some basic, proportions when drawing the head from a side view. Okay, let's make all that disappear, and let's go ahead and put some of that to use. Okay. All right. So first thing I want you to do, we're going to start off by drawing a sphere. Or, you know, we could put kind of we could start off with a square. That wouldn't be a bad idea either. So let's see here. Let's just come up here. And I'm getting the angle right. You see this? All right. All right, let's get this ear in place. Look at that angle of that ear is off to an angle like that. You see that? Now here's the trick on this one is that the top of the ear, she's looking up. So this is at an angle versus a horizontal, which I just showed you. So let's just kind of put that in there, just like this. Okay, let's go ahead and take a measurement here. So we could start like locking in our proportion, okay? I'm gonna put a little tone right there, a little color. Whenever I'm drawing portraits, I'm always using horizontal and vertical lines for measurement, right? So if I look at the bottom of her ear and I go a horizontal line, okay, in this case, look at that. The bottom of her ear is lining up directly with the bottom of her mouth. All right, so let's be aware of that. So I'm just going to put a line, straight line going across here. And that's where her mouth is going to go. All right, let's see about getting in. Look at this here. All right, so let's see where her top of her ear, where's that lining up? Let's do another vertical. Okay, that goes right through the top of her nose. You see that? So let's do that as well. Let's just put a line here for guiding ourselves. So I'm just going to come out and just kind of put in that silhouette right there, that little piece. All right, let's get the forehead here. I'm going to just come in just a little bit and then connect those. All we're doing is just putting in some measurements here to make sure that our proportion is locked into place. Okay, let's see. There's the tip of her eye, right there. So let's drop a vertical. Okay, that lines up right with the corner of her mouth. And then there is the bridge. You see that little distance right there? Let's kind of guesstimate that. So I'm going to say that that tear duct is going to land right there. And then I'm going to come straight down and realize that the corner of her mouth is going to line right up with that. Now these are just random. This is not the particular order I'll draw my faces in. I'll just, as I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, what's that lining up? Oh, look, that's lining up with that. So as you make your path through drawing a face or a portrait, just look for alignments of things, and you could start to get an idea where things are falling into place. Okay, her eye is looking up, so I'm going to just put a little, like at the curvature of that eyeball right there. And then I'm going to follow her forehead. So let's see here. Let's just see if we can get a nice... nice outline there. All right, let's keep going here. I think we're making some good path here. Good making some good progress. Okay, here's something I just noticed at this phase. I could see that the tip of his nose is right there. And then the tip of her lip, look at those. Look at that relationship. So I think I need to bring my nose out just a little bit more to get that relationship a little bit tighter there. And then there's her bottom lip and there's her chin. Look at those, look how all those points line up. So let's kind of get those in place here. So there's the bottom of her lip, and then that's about where her chin is going to go. All right, let's bring this back here now. So we got the dropping down of the jaw for the ear here. There's the angle of the jaw. And then look at this here. Here is the lobe of her ear, and this is where her neck starts. So let's see if we can get a nice judge on that distance. So there's about the lobe of her ear there. And this is what I'm trying to look at, this relationship. The tip of her chin, the lobe of her ear, and right about where her neck is going to start. All of these ideas would just help me be far more successful in drawing the elements. Now we've talked about using vertical lines and horizontal lines. There's also using negative space. So what do I mean by negative space? Look at this. This area here, that's the negative space. You see that shape? Well, that's going to help me tell me where her shoulders and her sweater start. So if I could just kind of look at my drawing and envision that negative space, okay, that's going to help me get that distance right. So when we're drawing, and a little side note, when you're painting, when you're doing one or both, a lot of times you want to use both the negative space and the positive space to get your things locked in. Well, check this out now. Look at this. Look at this. This isn't really negative space as part of her hair, but that is a definite, look at that shape. That's a great shape. Let's kind of just put that in, even though we're not talking about hair right now. That way when we come back, we can deal with that nicely. Okay, let's get the back. Let's get the back of her head now in, and then we can get into the features of her face. And I'm just gonna move this forward just a bit. So let's see now. There's my ear. I'm gonna come way back here. This is the distance that I'm kind of judging here. And it's going straight down. We got that, right? And then I got my hair going across. Oop. Okay, last thing. I think this will help too. Let's get the cascading line of the hair in front. So we're really coming out like this, and think of an S curve. Just an S curve here. And it's going to come down like this. Okay? When I say an S curve, what I mean is a curve like this. You see? That's an S curve. And let's go ahead and get the S curve for the hair, the front bang of her hair, right? Where am I? Right, this little section right here, okay? So this is the, I'm looking at this negative space, okay? And then a nice S curve right around her ear back here. And then I see a little bit more coming in just like this. Okay, let's jump into her nose now. All right, so right now what we have is we have the outline of the nose, and let's think of the wing of her nose as if you were taking a piece of clay and putting it right on top the side of her nose. So it's almost like if you were to think of a cup. And now what happened here? There we go. It's like a cup. If it was something like that, something like a cup, something like that, all right? Of course, don't make it like that exactly. We got to make it look like a nose, but so I'm going to zoom in here just a bit. I'm going to think of a cup now. Make an adjustment here. Make the nostril part just a little bit more foreshortened. That means it's a little bit more flat. Why is that? Stop it.
1 moment.
Stop, Siri. All right. All right, there you go. I think my little nostril opening could use a little more work, but I'll just keep rolling with it for right now, okay? Okay, so let's talk about these lips next, because these are tricky, and if you get them right, you're going to love it. So we've already established that's the corner. So let's just draw the outline. But watch what I do first before you do it. All right. So the outline, I'm going to start here. I'm going to come around, and then right about here, I'm not going to connect the lines. I'm going to start on the inside. I'm starting here, and then I'm letting my pencil go just right about there, okay? Then the next line I want to put is going to be right there. And that's the one I'm going to bring all the way back. Okay, she has her teeth coming down. And now I'm going to start to draw the lower lip, because the lower lip is in front of these teeth. The lower lip starts in front of these teeth and ends up behind them. So right about here, let's just come down here. There's the beginning of them. And then I'm going to come around just like this. And this is what I just drew, just that little section right there. All right, let's get the outline of the lower lip. Let's go through our little mark that we have. So it's going to come around like this. And then we want to have a slight turn. And just kind of let that line fade out so it doesn't go all the way back to the corner there. Now I'm gonna make some adjustments on mine here so it can be a little bit more foreshortened. Okay. Best way to practice lips is exactly that. Jump into them closely, and really start to try and understand how the construction of them are. All right, let's get this chin in. This lower lip, we have a little straight right there. And then let's be aware, this is important, let's be aware of this amount of space. You see this? Let's be aware of that amount of space. Let's not shortchange her chin there, okay? All right, let's jump up to the eye now. Okay. So this is the back of her nose. That's the corner of her mouth. And here's the bottom of her eye. Look at that distance there, okay? Let's try and match that. Same idea up here. So corner of the mouth. We're going to be somewhere up there maybe. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and walk our upper eyelid. And I want to think the one shape I want to look for here is I want to be aware of the negative shape. The negative shape of her pupil, of her eyeball. So my eyelid is coming from the back and around the top. Okay, same thing with the bottom. I'm going to come now. Look closely at that shape because you want to make sure you get her looking up. Okay, the pupil is going to sit a little bit higher in the eye because she's looking up at a slight angle. So don't make this too big. All right. So look really closely here. There is the front end of the of her eyelid, but now look at this. Look what happens. This is going to wrap around that. And come down just like that. Now most of this is going to be covered, a lot of this is going to be covered by her eyelash. So let's just kind of come in here. Okay, let's get her eyebrow in. I think once we get her eyebrow in, we're going to like this. So look at this. To position our eyebrow, I'm going to look at this negative space. I'm really looking out for that negative space from the top of her eye to where her eyebrow should go. So let's see here. How far back? Okay, it goes back a bit. All right. And then what's the thickness of it? Okay, that looks good. And then I'm just going to kind of taper that back. Okay, let's get a little bit of tone on this now. Her nose is just going to have a little bit of tone right here, right? A little bit darker. Let's go right here to the temple. Temple is right behind her brow line, right? And we're going to get some tone coming down, just following her eyeball socket. Trying to make this as even as possible. We're going to come underneath the chin a bit. And then this whole back area of her neck. This is all going to be covered in hair. Make sure you add a little tone to your eyeball as well. You definitely don't want that to be pure white. Okay. All right, let's take a look at, let's get some tone into our hair here, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is add some darker tone right where it's coming in contact with the edge of her face there. And if, by the way, as I'm doing this, I can't help but think, if you don't mind liking the video and subscribing to the channel, that's always, of course, really helpful. So I appreciate that. And if you're looking for some actual beginner drawing lessons, there's a link down below called the Beginner's Workshop Part B that you should check out. All right, let's kind of get some of this ear in place here, okay? Let's just start with the quick outline of that ear. And I'm using a lot of like straight lines for that. And there's 3 parts to an ear. And they compose of using the letter C. So the outside is like a backwards letter C. And then you have another one on the inside. So that's gonna come around like this. And then you have the letter Y, which is like this. It's like a lowercase y. And then you have a little C. It's like this. And it comes around like this. You see? All right, let's get some of this hair in place here before we have about 5 more minutes. So I'm going to really use just kind of S curves. I'm going to get the first one right here. I'm going to come down like this. I'm just kind of using surface lines. And then this is a nice line here. This will come around close. Watch now. And then it gets nice and wide. And I can push down my pencil and then pull it up. Now this is where I'm going to want to go in with get some really nice darker value in here. I don't want this hair to be white. I do not want it to be white of the page. I want her face to be the white of the page. Same thing down here about around her lips. Her hair is really dark in here. And when I'm drawing hair, I'm really thinking of S curves. S curves and C curves. All right, let's get some more tone in here. All right. All right, let's get the back end of her hair here. Nice S-curve. Okay, we could just drop a tone in this whole back area of her hair. I'm just erasing some of my my little points that we put in at the very beginning. Just kind of looking at the shadows now, of just trying to get some value. If you up here at the temple, if you add a little bit of darker value right there and let it fade out, it really will add a sense of using a core shadow there. In fact, you can add a little bit of a core shadow coming all the way around here. Now, I know it's not in the picture, but that will give a real sense of roundness. We had a conversation, or we're going to have a conversation in our Facebook group tomorrow about shading. And look at this, right in here on the nose, you could add a little bit of darker value. I think I shortchanged her chin here just a little bit. Well, these are all part of the adjustment process, so. Hey, listen, that's what I got for you today. I think that should set you up for some good success. I do appreciate you all watching. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Tune in every Wednesday. Hit subscribe. Hit that bell. You know how it goes. That way you'll get notification every time that we go live. We always go live on Monday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. And if you want looking for a great community, join our Facebook group, okay? Hey, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see y'all later, okay? All right, bye-bye.